A very good day to all of you. This video is meant to replace the 2 hours that we missed from last Wednesday. This video is going to review the chapter past models or models in the past in lesson 6 of the textbook. We'll go through some slides on past models, but for further understanding you can refer to the notes that you can see in the pages of lesson 6 in the textbook. So basically we use past models. Models are the words that we use, verbs that we use, such as can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, and also must. But those models that we learned in the previous chapter, which is lesson 5, would be the models that we use to talk about the present as well as the future. But in lesson 6, we can also use models to talk about the past, but not just the past. There are different situations in the past that can be used to refer to using models. For example, we use models in the past to talk about mistakes that we have done in the past, our regrets that we have done in the past, and also perhaps things that were possible in the past but we didn't take that action. For example, when we say should have, so you can say I should have studied harder so that I could achieve an A in in the examination. So I should have studied harder. So that means that is a regret. So you didn't study harder in the past, so you say I should have studied harder so I would get an A in the final examination. So let us go through the slides. The first one, these are the models that we will cover throughout the chapters, which is should have, may have, might have, or the negative with not, will have, would have, could have, and also must have. So we are not going to talk about can and shall because those are the models that we use to talk about the present, not in the past. But will have, yes, we can use will have to talk about the past or the future perfect. In the future, things that we imagine to have happened in the future. So should have and should not have, we use should have or should not have to talk about regrets. Things that did not happen in the past and also things that was a mistake in the past. For example, when you say I didn't do very well on the test, I should have studied harder. So that means should have is a regret, is your regret. Or things that was a mistake. I should have invited him, but you didn't invite that person and you feel bad about it. You should have, so that is a mistake. Mistake that you refer to in the past. I should have gotten everyone's approval. So should have gotten, but the fact is you didn't and you regret that. So should have is used to talk about regrets, also mistakes in the past. The same goes to should not have. So did happen in the past and it was a mistake. For example, when you say he should not have married her, but the fact is in the past he married her but it was a mistake. So you say he should not have married her. So we are talking about regret or mistakes in the past. You shouldn't have been there. You were there, but that was a mistake. So you shouldn't have. Next is may have and may not have. So let us take a look at the usage of those two models in the past. So may have is actually maybe in the past. Maybe I will come tomorrow. So that is maybe in the present or in the future. But when you say may have, it is actually maybe in the past. So for example, this sentence here, he missed the meeting. He may have forgotten. So maybe he forgets. But when you refer to the past, you say maybe may have forgotten. So you don't say maybe he forgotten or maybe he forgot. He may have forgotten. He may have been sick. So you're referring to the past, talking about yesterday when he missed the meeting. So he may have been too busy, may have gotten stuck in traffic. You can also say maybe he was stuck in the traffic yesterday. Well, that is also acceptable, but you can also say may have. So maybe is not a modal. It is an adverb. May have, may here is a modal. So things that maybe happened in the past. So we say may have. We can also say maybe with the past tense. Well, that can be accepted, but we can also use may have, and may have is a modal in the past. So the same goes to may not have, may not be in the past. So he missed the meeting. He may not have known about it. He may have not had time. Maybe he didn't know about it, or maybe he didn't have time. So same meaning, but you can say may have not or may not have, or also maybe he didn't. Next is might have and might not have. Might have means may have, and might not have means may not have. So don't worry about the difference in the meaning. They are both the same, so they can be used interchangeably. Both of them can be used to refer to the same situation. Will have and will not have. So will is a future tense. It is a modal, but when we say will have, it is the future perfect for something that will happen in the future before something else further in the future. For example, to make it simpler, in 2020, I will have graduated from Leni. Or maybe in 2020, I will have graduated from UMK. So that means I will graduate before 2020. So by 2020, you will have graduated. That means already graduated. By November, we will have studied the passive voice. We will study the passive voice in October. So that means by November, we will have finished studying the passive voice. So this is a future perfect tense. This is modal. Modal will have, yes, it is a modal, but it is a modal in the past, but the past that will happen in the future, if you get what I mean. By November, we will have taken the midterm. I will not have finished this work by this evening. So that means by this evening, before that evening, you will not have finished the work. So that means it is a past that will happen in the future. So will have or will not have. Would have and would not have, it is a past for unreal situation. So things that is not real, but for example, if you take a look at the example here, if they had offered me more money, I would have taken the job. But the fact is, they didn't offer me more money and I didn't take the job. So unreal situation in the past. Would have. So if they had offered me money, I would have taken the job. They didn't offer you money and you didn't take the job. So that means unreal situations. So you say would have. Things that you would do in the past but you didn't. If I had a good job in my country, I would not have come here. So I didn't have a good job, so I came here to the US, for example. So that means you use would have or would not have to talk about things that was unreal in the past. So things that didn't happen in the past. If you want to talk about it, you say if something happened, I would have or I would not have. So that means it is unreal in the past. So the same goes to would not have. Could and couldn't. So could is the past tense of can, couldn't is the past tense of can't. I couldn't sleep last night because I was worried about my problems. I could swim when I was 7 years old. So could is past of can, couldn't is the past tense of can't. And could is used for polite requests. For example, when you say, could you open the window please, could I be your partner? Could you give me a ride? You can also use would, same meaning. Also can, which is less polite, so normally we say could. So when you have could have or could not have, the meaning is, when you say could have, it is for something that was possible in the past but did not happen. For example, I could have gotten married when I was 19, but I decided not to. It was not the right time. So I could have gotten married, could have here. So this is something that was possible in the past but did not happen. He could have gotten killed in that accident if he had not been wearing his seatbelt. Or be careful, you could have hit me. So could have here something that is or that was possible in the past but did not happen. So that is the use of could have. So the same goes to could not have. I could not have helped him even if he has asked me. So it wasn't possible for me to help him. So I could not have him. I could not have helped him in the past even if he had asked me to help. So that means could not help. Something that is not possible because you say could not here. So must have and must not have. So must have means I think that something probably was true in the past, and must not have something that probably was not true in the past. So must, when you say must, previously in lesson 5 we talked about must. Must is obligation. You must do something. So then when you say must have, the meaning is totally different. For example, I can't find my reading glasses. I must have left them in my office. So that means you think that probably you have left the glasses in your office. He missed the meeting yesterday. That means or he must have been sick. So that means must have is talking, you use to talk about something that was probably true in the past, but not necessarily true, but probably true in the past. So must have. So the same goes to must not have. I think that something was not true in the past when you have not. So you say must not true in the past, must have something that is probably true in the past. He didn't answer his phone. He must not have had turned on. He failed the class last semester. He must not have studied hard. So something that is not probably not true in the past. So must have probably true in the past. So that's all for the video, and I will upload the exercises to be done from the textbook. So have a nice day and happy holidays.